Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Check. Works. Um, I wanted to do a quick ramble vlog on a personal ramble vlog. Returning back again on talking about business, like a mini journal, and um, just documenting my process of business and what I've been learning, how I'm operating, where I'm at in business, and the current state of how everything is, and how much more I need to go in terms of like developing myself and the business. And so it's been about 1 year since I launched Ship Zeros, which is my second business. Zeros Geckos is this gecko business, right? It's what you see here in the back. Basically, the farm breeding, raising up babies, and then selling them. And it's a pretty simple concept, right? You produce a product and you sell it, right? And I built out the systems for Zeros Geckos in terms of husbandry, care. I built a brand out that took me a while to build out. And so now that business is rolling and flowing, and it's nothing crazy, but it's definitely helpful for sure in terms of bringing in some profit and sustaining what I've since launched in the second business of Ship Zeros. And so Ship Zeros, I wanted to talk a little bit about that and kind of my process and where I'm at right now. So Ship Zeros, we officially soft launched it last year, last July, I believe. And so before that, I was developing it for over a half a year plus, just kind of working through the accounts, trying to secure the accounts, kind of learning the ins and out of the shipping business, and which I'm still learning. But it's been a year since launch, and last year we did maybe about uh, I think like 80 to 90K revenue, but the profit margins were very low and operating costs were high. So basically, it was a loss, right? So last year was a loss because I invested a lot is relative, but I invested money from my first business to kind of launch the thing, building out the platform, hiring Ling as my first contractor worker, and just kind of uh, walking through developing that business, and with the mindset of like, well, the first year, 2 or 3 are just kind of the build out phase. Well, I mean, it's always build out phase, but what I mean is like build out, no profit, investing, and not worrying about necessarily strictly the monetary aspect, but really investing in future growth and profitability eventually, of the potential of what this can be, right? And so, because I was pretty bullish on this business of shipping within the shipping industry, because I know that space well because of how I've utilized it in with Zeros Geckos. I know kind of the lay of the land in terms of the animal shipping industry, and it's pretty it's pretty open in the sense of there's not a lot of animal shippers in the country. So uh, all those things kind of lined up for me in the sense of feeling pretty good about it. So even when I've asked Lauren about it, the last 2 years, she goes, even she thought it was an okay idea, and Lauren's a stickler about my ideas, but regardless of what she thought, I would have done it anyway. but but she felt good about it, and like talking to others, and they're like, oh, that's a pretty good idea, and like even talking about it with my CPA before I launched it, he's like, yeah, that sounds like a pretty solid plan, and so I felt pretty good about it. Fast forward to now, we're in July, a year later, and now this year to date, we're probably at 300, we're at 300 plus K in terms of revenue, and the operational gross profit margin is better this year, and operating costs has increased because of salary. Now I have 3 workers: Mei Ling, Audrey, and Tani, and the progress for this year was that we've solidified more and more the operational aspect of the business. I've been learning a lot more in terms of the importance of systems and standing operating procedures and really working out the administrative details of the business. So I've been trying to learn a lot of that firsthand. I mean, I didn't go to school for business. I don't have my MBA. This is all like self-taught stuff via whether it's podcast, YouTube, books, and just learning it uh, firsthand on the ground, hitting a lot of the hurdles and learning from those hurdles. So my style of learning is not necessarily strictly academic. It's for me, it's always uh, just go all in and I'll figure out as I go. And I know that's not the best way to do things all the time, but so far it's served me well in the sense of like it just helps me to weather a lot of hardships and hurdles, and knowing that there's always some sort of fix and solution to everything that we come across, whether it's interpersonal relationships, whether it's administrative hurdles, operational hurdles, things that I don't even know that I'm supposed to know, like the financial aspects. So there's a lot of aspects of business where I'm just like leaning full in, and as I hit those icebergs, I figure out and I learn and I adjust. So my strength is that I'm not afraid to make a lot of mistakes. So I'll look stupid a lot, but I don't care. It doesn't matter to me anymore because I feel like every time I run into issues, it'll hurt and it might set me back, but I always try to adjust. And that has been a strong point of mine, and I've been able to utilize that strength and just put some sort of blinders on and just go full in, figure out as we go. And so far, it's served me well. So far this year, building out a team has been a huge priority for me. Developing Mei Ling in her role, Audrey in her role, Tani in her role. Tani's kind of the marketing, social branding, and she's just getting started there with Ship Zeros. And then Audrey's now leaning into customer support, customer support slash operations lead. uh, Trying to pick up a lot of the bulk of what Ling has developed and established for us. And now I'm shifting Mei Ling to account specialist and really learning that space of now that we've built kind of the foundational aspects of the business. Now let's outreach. Let's do marketing more. Let's reach out to high volume accounts to kind of sell them, And so it's been a really good learning process of how we can continue to build the brand, establish ourselves operationally, and then now we can kind of push forward. The tough part about business is always the financial aspect, and so far it's been okay. Revenue wise, it's been good for just only being a year out. We're maybe by year end, hopefully we are projecting towards $500,000 in revenue, and so with the profit margin of anywhere from 15 to a little over 20%. And I know that it's not great right now, but eventually we'll get there. Right now I'm still just trying to establish various accounts and just being consistent with kind of our process of sales and support. So that's a huge plus. I think I'm I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we were able to kind of get to this level so quickly, even a year in, and with very little marketing, with no external funding, just purely just bootstrapping. Everything that is being built is strictly from the first business that I've grown. So I feel pretty good about the progress at where we're at. And obviously, we want to continue to increase revenue and increase margin, these are all common sense things, right? Increase revenue, increase profit margins, and keep operational costs low so that, obviously we will continue to bring in more income, not for the sake of like bringing income, but I think for me, I see it as everything right now is being reinvested back into the business for the next 2+ years. Um, I'm in just growth mode of the business, so I'm not concerned about every single dollar, penny pinching every single thing. So I'm really, my first priority is, at least for this year, is, and probably moving forward too, is just my priority is the team, um, developing them and providing them a job, providing income for my workers, and really just seeing them grow in their role. And hopefully, I don't know, like as the stronger we build ourselves as a team, maybe who knows what's next after Ship Zero's the shipping business. Maybe there's another business up ahead 5 years down the road that uh, after investing so much in each other as a team, maybe we can start something else. So I already have thoughts of like what's next. And I always tell my team I don't want to overpromise, but here are my intentions. I want to pour into you guys. I want to teach you guys everything I know, and just see you guys develop as people. And that's what gives me the greatest satisfaction and fulfillment in this business. It's not strictly the metrics and making as much money as possible. It's really we're playing the game already. We're playing the game. I love what we're doing, and just having the opportunity to sustain something where we can provide jobs and incomes, and we can grow, and we can, I can think of other ways to dream of like what else can we do in this business, how many more people can we serve, what are some other business offshoots that we can do. And that stuff excites me, like just being able to build things. I just love building things, and building people and teams for me gives me the most fulfillment. So I'm thankful for my team, for Tani, Audrey, for Mei Ling on the Ship Zero side, and then Zero's Geckos has been awesome too. Nana has been helping me. Nana and Riley have been helping me, feed and clean and help with the operations of my first business, Zero's Geckos, and so they've been a huge help to allow me more time to focus on the shipping business, so that I can build out this business as well. So shout out to all those people that have helped me to grow and develop. And I also need to give a shout out to T-Rex. T-Rex was my first worker. He hasn't worked for me for a while, but he was our 13-year-old. He's now 14-year-old, 13-year-old worker at the time, where he was just helping me. He was my first one. Well, my first ones were my kids, but they weren't very reliable in terms of consistency. But T-Rex would come on Thursdays and just help me clean and clean racks of geckos. And so he was my first. He was my first outside of the family worker to come help me. So thankful for him. So we'll see if eventually he wants to come back to work. But yeah, I think we've made really good progress for the year we've been in business. And what I'm learning so far this year is learning to lean more into being self-aware. The self-awareness aspect is huge as a business owner. Really understanding the different hats that I wear and how I can best be in those roles, right? There's the visionary aspect, which I love, dreaming big. Where can we go? Where can we take this? And then also wearing the hat of integrator, right? Not just taking that vision, but how can I integrate down in terms of developing the teams, building the teams, setting the direction for them, getting into the weeds of teaching them, guiding them, giving them the support that they need to do their job. So all those things I really like, and understanding my own weakness of being terrible at numbers. This is why I have my CPA. Being my weakest point is also administrative details, but it's something that I've learned to develop, and I've leaned much more into and started to enjoy a little bit, because I know that's my weak point, and usually I'll lean into my strengths of being a visionary, being a people person, building community, developing a team, and making sure the team is supported and cared for, that they feel like they're empowered to do what they do. That's my strong suit. My weak point is just the details of the administrative things, and I've learned to kind of embrace that role as well, at least for now, because I have to do all those things. So I'm learning how to wear all those hats, and it's been really fulfilling, because I really like learning new skills, new things, and so that's what has been keeping me fueled to just press forward and lean into things that are difficult for me, and really learn to enjoy it, because I think that once you learn to enjoy things that you hate, you're naturally weak at, then it's such a huge unlock. You just feel like you have more tools to use for the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So I'm just like Thanos, right? Collecting the rocks of collecting those infinity stones. The more stones you have, the more pieces of the stones that you have, the more powerful you feel in terms of just really being able to be an operator, being a developer of teams, being a good manager, and just having really good vision to see clarity of the things and the hurdles, and knowing how to address certain things. It's very fulfilling, very satisfying to continue to learn and grow in those roles. So I've been learning a lot in the past probably 3-4 years, but and even before that, learning a lot of skills from church, with Risen and IGC, and working with others like Rich and others that have really helped me develop in different ways. Little things that you learn along the way has been. I look back and I'm very thankful for just how God has brought me through different seasons of my life, different places where, it's not always easy, and there are all difficult things that have happened in the past, and things that I look back on, and you just learn to appreciate and not let the bad parts of it weigh you down, but see it as it was just a place for you to learn. I always share about how I really like this book, The Alchemist. Right? You have this guy. I already forgot the guy's name. You have this shepherd boy, and then he's trying to find his treasure, right? The treasure in life. It's all like a metaphor for life and how we try to seek the treasure, right? And in the middle of the book, he's kind of like traveling, trying to find this treasure, like this treasure chest of like wealth, and he comes across this glass shop, right? And he works at this glass shop. He's just passing by. He's in another country. He's passing by, but he begins to work at this glass shop to earn some money, because he lost his money. Some thief stole all his stuff, and he had no money to go any further. So he's here at this glass shop making money, and he's stuck there for a while because he needs to save up all his money again, right, to continue on his journey. And he, I'm butchering the story a little bit, but he kind of hates this time zone initially, because he's stuck here. He doesn't want to sell glass. He's here working for the glass owner, the glass shop owner, but he's learned to appreciate his role in it, because he's in this glass shop. He's like, hey, how can I do the best with what I have in this season of where I'm at? And so he has all these ideas for the glass shop owner. Eventually, he utilizes his skill sets and his gift to multiply sales for the glass shop owner. So whatever he did, he made this glass shop successful, and he did his best, and he learned skills along the way, right? And so, and then he moves on. He continues to seek his treasure. So I really like that parable, that story of the alchemist, because I feel like we're constantly in this mode of the glass shop. Sometimes we're not sure where we are or if we've arrived where we want to go. But for me, understanding that I'm constantly in this glass shop and just trying to do the best with what I have, and just really trying to be faithful to tending this garden of this season, and not having a bad attitude about it. Like, sure, I'm tired, but really leaning in and developing skills, loving people and serving people along the way. I think that attitude has really helped me to shift into being more pessimistic about things and cynical like I usually am, and then leaning into just being more optimistic and having a good attitude with where I'm at, however difficult it is, and just making the best of it, and seeing that every point and season of life and of this journey of whatever career path you're in, and just learning skills and growing, not just skills, but character development, right? Patience, fortitude, just having a steeled character of like being able to observe and learn. That has been huge in terms of positivity towards kind of business and whatever endeavor you're doing. You're seeing it and not complaining. Less, well, we all complain, but less complaining, more like, okay, here's a bad situation, but what can I learn from it as a person? How is it developing my character? And what can I find for solutions for this problem? And just really seeing things as issues that we can find solutions for. And I think that has, in this season, brought me really far, for the business, in life, in character development. So I really have been enjoying this season of team development, pouring into my team members and the girls that work for me, and I'm very thankful for them, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able, that they would even want to work with me. Like I'll I'll do what I can in terms of in terms of compensation, and as the business progresses, if it progresses, if it grows, there's no promise. It can fail in a few months. I'm not sure. I'll do my best, but as the business grows, as all of us develop as a team, then it just makes me more grateful towards them. It makes me want to continue to pour into them as well, and do what I can to compensate them for their work and value them in not just compensation monetarily, but just valuing them as people that can genuinely grow, and there's so much value there. So one more thing, and then I'll close out. We're at 23 minutes. I also see the importance in business when it comes to setting goals, yes, but also really developing a system. So goals is kind of like, okay, right now we're selling anywhere from 250 to 450 labels a week at $8 to $9 profit margin, and then just trying to figure out what it would cost to not just sustain the business at a break even, kind of that's where we're at right now, but to kind of grow even more so that we are comfortable in establishing ourselves as a business, whether so that income is flowing, cash is flowing and liquid, and we can continue to operate really strongly and be aggressive. So not just setting goals, right? Right now we're around 250 to 450 labels a week on average, but we want to push our goals to 500 to 600 labels on average per week by the end of the year, and then by the end of next year, 2027, have 1,000 labels on average per week, right? Setting goals that are challenging but not completely out of reach. Yes, so goals are important, but more than that, right? So now we have a target to hit, but developing a system to get there. And all these things sound really obvious. Like, how do we get to there? Oh, you build a system. Here's the path to get there, right? But as I continue to actually be in the weeds of business and seeing that every single dollar is our hard-earned dollar. This is all money that that it's my own money, right? So like I'm gonna value every single dollar, and I want to learn and lean in as much as I can. I don't want to waste. It's not fake money here. This is my money, right? And this is money that we've all earned. And so I want to learn as much as I can to bring as much value to whatever we're bringing in. So not just setting goals, but developing an operating system of how we get to those goals. And that part I feel like is the difficult part. So, working at church for over a decade, seeing how we set these goals, but we kind of suck at the operating system. We think we're trying to, not just church, but just business in general. We think we're trying to do well here, but sometimes we aren't very intentional with these things. And so I feel like the art of business is not just setting goals. Anyone can set goals, right? All these big companies can set goals. Oh, let's try to get to 1 billion in valuation, and then here we have the CEO, we have the CFO, we have the CTO, and then here's how we're going to operate org chart all the way down, right? These are systems, right? On a very small level, on a small business level, scrappy solo entrepreneur level, these things are so important, and it's been a really good time for me kind of to learn those things on the ground and seeing how important it is to have an operating system, having proper systems in place, trying to plan ahead and not fly at this, not just make decisions off the bat, like right then and there, but trying to plan ahead, being proactive, and really trying to develop the foresight to see up ahead. How's this going to affect Mei Ling? How's this going to affect Audrey? How is this going to affect Tani in these decisions that I'm going to make or want to shift towards, and massaging and persuading and influencing in a way where they feel empowered, where they feel like they can run, where they feel like I'm supporting and serving them rather than me top down dictating how things are going to be done. That is kind of the art of the people aspect of business, but then also creating structures and businesses so that even I'm accountable to these these structures, so that I don't just like last minute like throw things on them, but I have a system that we all abide by, so that so they don't dread me asking them things, right? So that is kind of this phase that I'm really trying to learn, and I failed before, like I've frustrated my team members, and I still do. But I really want to like nip that in the bud and just be like, how can I develop a system where the expectations are clear on both sides, as employer and as team members? How can we make those expectations clear so that all of us as a team know what to expect and are comfortable with all those expectations, even if it is a challenge? That is kind of the art of like, how do we keep our employees happy, like not just compensation, right? A lot of businesses will, there's so many layers of operations that, like you have to motivate them through compensation, free snacks at Google, free snacks and restaurants at Facebook, like those are things to keep your employees happy, but those are band-aid fixes. For me, I want to get to the core. And this is why I want to stay small as a business, because like it allows me that face-to-face with each of my members, and just really caring for them on the level personally, and making sure that our systems are in place, so that we care for each other. I'm accountable to the system, and so there's no bad blood, So anyway, all that to say, goals, yes. Systems is what we do to kind of run as fast as we can to get to those goals. And I feel like I've been in huge learning mode when it comes to figuring out systems, and how to develop people, how to manage people, and it's been really good. So, okay, 29 minutes. All right, under 30 minutes. It's kind of long ramble. That's felt like 15 minutes for me, but it was rambling. So hopefully, I don't know if you guys listen to this. I always say that, it's stupid. Like I'm just trying to like make myself feel better if nobody listens. But I honestly don't care ultimately. I don't even look. I try not to look. But hopefully, I mean, that's helpful for some people that are more kind of business minded or learning about business or wanting to get into business, I am by no means a guru, but what I really like is process. And I think as I share my process of where I've come from, where I'm at, and where I want to go, whether or not it's correct, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying what's where I'm at right now and what's working right now. And if I hit a hurdle and I look back, I'm like, okay, I made a mistake. Here's what I want to turn. Because I feel like in so many ways, this is how we learn from each other. This is why I love watching people, um, you know, public figures or people that document the process on YouTube or Instagram. I love watching these progress reports and these progress videos because I'm like, oh, this it's inspiring because like they're making mistakes, but this is how they're learning from their mistakes. So hopefully I can share a little bit with you guys, and hopefully it's helpful for one or two people, and hopefully it's inspiring for some people as they're looking to get into business and learn and grow. So cool. Thank you guys for listening. I'll chat with you guys later.